I'm telling you that it's lies because he did
All right,
actually
dig it
say,
up, man. Dig it up.
he did. He did actually say quite verbatim that he thinks Gyokeres would choose Nottingham Forest over quite a lot of clubs. Like I remember.
Oh yeah, he would. Would he choose us over Spurs?
No, bro, no. We didn't even have. I'm pretty sure he said he would choose Forest over Arsenal or something like that. Like you
answer the question. Would he choose Forest over Spurs?
Bro, we don't want him. I don't know
So
what.
no,
he wouldn't.
wait,
you know
what the answer is, George. You just can't say it.
We've stole 2 of your best players in the last couple of years. You can't
George, would Gyokeres join Spurs over Forest? It's a yes/no question.
We buy your players. You could never buy a Tottenham player. Please,
George, I'll ask again. Would Gyokeres join Spurs over Forest? Yes or no?
I'll tell you again. Nottingham Forest could never attract a player above Spurs. We buy your players. You don't buy ours. If you buy ours, you buy our shit. We buy your best. Let's have it right. Let's just clarify. You know that. I know that. We don't need to do this. Thank you.
So you're refusing to answer the question.
Brennan Johnson and who else?
Jet Spence.
Okay, Jet Spence is decent, but Brennan Johnson.
Jet Spence at the time. Oh, yeah, okay. Jet Spence at the time was one of their best players when he joined.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but you did again. You don't know your facts, do you? Jet Spence was a Middlesbrough player. So do your research. Yeah, do your research.
They did spend like the money. You did spend both that money on Odoi and Elanga, to be fair. So Jordan's right when he says that.
What?
Much I want to disagree. He's right.
About what?
You guys, they bought Johnson, which was your best player, and then you replaced him.
No, he wasn't. Gibbs White was our best player.
Yeah, but he was one of like you know what I mean. Let's not do semantics.
Wait.
Premier League
George is deflecting off the very simple question, which I will go back to.
Like, is it the proof's in the pudding, bro? You literally sold.
Can I actually tell you guys? You guys are all okay. Let me. But the facts are, isn't this changing? Based on Wolfie's argument, hold on. Yes, I'm going to tell you. Based on Wolfie's argument, the order is changing in the Premier League because Wolfie thinks that Forest are here to stay. They're going to make Champions League this season and they're going to spend money to take over from other clubs. So is it changing? Yes, when Forest were fighting relegation, George is 100% correct. Nottingham Forest are only going to buy the rejects from Spurs. Forest would never have gone to buy the star from Spurs. And vice versa is correct. Spurs would have gone to Forest. Okay, hold on. Wolfie, you can't deny this. Spurs would have gone to Forest and said, who's your best player? Here is the money. I'm taking that player.
No, I'm just saying, what star would we have been able to go after from Spurs?
Whatever, like, there are a lot of them. There is Son, there is Kane, there is Romero. There is Romero. Okay, let me explain it.
I can resist. Carry on.
We can be shameless or we can be objective. Do we think that Forest now, if they get Champions League, they play well next season, they can actually now and go and attract players from some of the Brightons and the Wolves, the Fulhams, and now if Spurs don't catch up to them, can they go and convince a player from Spurs to join them because they have European football apart from Spurs? People in the chat can answer this. And before, everyone that joined from the Football Terrace, big up Terry, big up everyone that watched the Straight Facts show, of course, with LB and Dan. Make sure when you walk in, you hit the like button. Of almost 700 people in the house. So let's get the likes up, people. Hit that like button. Let's get to 300 likes live. Osam is joining. He's just praying Aisha, of course. And he's gonna be here. Literally, I want an objective answer and no banter. We can do the banter later.
What's the question?
It's very simple. If Forest are here to stay, can they reverse the orders and now attract top players from the Premier League?
Yes. None of them want to say yes. You see this? None of them.
I know the
answer is yes, and none of them want to say it.
I don't think you're like Newcastle, where the ownership. Again, I say ownership just based on like assumptions and stereotypes, but I don't know anything about your ownership to say they are that ambitious, where they'll be like,
do you even know my owner's name?
No, I don't. But this is what I'm saying. I don't know if your ownership is going to be like this. Okay, so I'm asking you, educate me about your ownership. Do you think your ownership this summer is going to go like, we finished top 4 last season. Let's cement it this season and try to go a step further. Let's go spend 200-300 million in the summer and buy top quality. Not 200 million on 20 players. 200 million on like 4 players.
Yeah,
3 players.
That's what I think. I think that's what he does. Like he likes to win. He likes trophies. He owns Olympiacos. He owns Forest. He owns team in Portugal. He's trying to get another team in Brazil. He wants to win. He's not in this to turn Forest into, tenfold what they're worth. He wants trophies.
But what evidence do you have to that if he's not said it? How do you know that?
He has said it.
So can I just...
Bro, the first thing he said when we got promoted was, we're not here just for a ride. We are here to win trophies. He got laughed at.
Okay, fair.
He got laughed at.
What team does he own in Portugal? Just out of curiosity.
Rayo Ave.
Okay, so all the teams that he owns all the teams that he owns, he's used to getting rejects and bums. So when you're talking about going to sign top players, I'm confused because Olympiacos don't sign top players; they sign rejects. Nottingham Forest don't sign top players; you sign rejects. So when I'm talking about attractiveness and I'm talking about my owners are ambitious, they're ambitious enough as big as the club are. Your club isn't big enough to go and sign a player like although your position may be nice, let's have it right again. You can't go and sign players off the back of just having one good season. Players know what clubs are. Wait, Wolfie, let me finish, please. Players sign 5-year contracts nowadays, 6 or 7-year contracts. No one's signing a 5 to 7 year contract with Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Especially someone that's coming from a bigger club. And
it's not only bigger club. He's very honest. Gyokeres, for example, off the back of one season, he's not going to commit his last big contract to Nottingham Forest, for example, without guarantees that you're going to be always be in the Champions League. And you can't guarantee that. I'm telling you, Spurs even can't guarantee this, but Spurs guarantee something else. Spurs have a bigger fan base. Spurs have a bigger name than Forest in the world. At the current moment, social media, tax. Now, you can claim that you have, Wolfie, I'm not trying to rattle you. You can claim that you have more heritage.
As well, please. After.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You cut me off.
No, because I was just checking. Yeah, Chelsea's. I'm trying to remember it. Chelsea's league finishes before Roman came in, and they were slightly steady.
You were third, bro.
Yeah,
you were third, fourth, fifth.
This is the thing. People don't know the history in it. I had to look at it myself to confirm. I didn't want to lie to people. We were finishing in good positions a good few years before Roman came in. So it wasn't just our owner came in with ambition, just chose Chelsea and was like, yeah, there was clear foundation.
With all due respect, Chelsea were not City in the night.
Yeah.
Chelsea
we were actually quite
still
a decent team. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won a few trophies. We had some European trophies. We won a few cups, FA Cup and stuff. It wasn't all doom and gloom.
What's your point,
Chaz? Why am I mentioning this? I'm going to get to the point. The point is that your owner has been there for how long, sorry? Wolfie confirmed to me.
2017.
He hasn't been there for that long with respect to ownership, yeah? And you were in the championship for a large part of that. So why are you all of a sudden going to go from being in the league for a couple years to staying in the top 4 consistently, buying top players, spending on big wages? Those things don't just happen overnight. For you to have that level, I would expect you to be here in 2 years' time and still make top 4 again and again. Then you'll be talking. If you make top 4 next year, then the year after that, and your ownership's been here for 10 years, and you got money, now we can start hearing you say players at Gyokeres.
Wait, how long's your ownership been in?
Which one? The current one?
3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, it's come up to it's only been 3 years actually.
3 years. Have they finished in the top 4 under that ownership?
We haven't finished top 4 yet.
No. Okay. So we did.
No, 3. They joined 2022.
Yeah, but you're not comparing Chelsea to Nottingham Forest now.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just the logic is
Chelsea have won 2 Champions Leagues in the last 15 years.
I agree. I'm not. Let me.
No, he's doing exactly what you want him to do. Start talking about Chelsea. Let's focus.
No, I'm not comparing Forest and Chelsea. I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out Chez's logic here on what he's saying, because my next thing is, okay, what happened to Man City from 07 to 08?
Yeah, but Wolfie, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the same because City's ownership. Yeah, City's ownership. I'm not saying they don't want to make money. Of course, they want to make money. They're businessmen. They're investors, but they also have this mental appetite to win. And that's why.
Not even that. Sorry to interrupt you. Elephant in the room. Hello, PSR.
Yeah.
Hello. That's the big difference.
That's why Newcastle couldn't do the same thing.
It's a landscape, and context, which could be different.
And this is
I'm still again linking it back to your point about this finish third, finish second. Because when Abramovich came in, when PSL wasn't there either. PSL wasn't there either. Man City weren't established. Man City weren't established.
Like I just told you, the Man City scenario is different. The Chelsea scenario is different because we were established team. We was established. I'm at Man City. They were established-ish, but Chelsea definitely was. And secondly, the landscape of the league was different because of the money, the fair play. Back then, Chelsea could literally spend umpteen amount of money and there's no consequences of it.
No repercussions.
Now
but back then, Chelsea, United before them could bully teams into giving up their players. Would you not agree?
No, but that's because you had more money to do so. Now you can't do that.
Yeah, now exactly. Now you can't. Now you can't. So what's happening now is the landscape of this Big Six, Cartel Six, Sky Six, whatever it's called now, is completely going to change. Because you're seeing teams like Man United, even Man United, whose revenue is huge. I think it's only now second to Man City, if I'm not mistaken. They're struggling with PSR. So they can't go in and throw some money to fix their problems. They're 14th, 15th in the league. They can't suddenly spend 400, 500 million unless they're doing it through generating revenue from player sales. So this whole landscape is changing right now. So for you guys to sit there and think in your naivety and your arrogance that you can just chuck money at a problem now to fix it, you can't, because you've seen players like Gay with Crystal Palace not leave last summer, wasn't it, for 65 million because Crystal Palace didn't feel the need that they had to sell him. If that was 10, 15 years ago, Crystal Palace would have folded at 40 million. Obviously, ignore inflation.
But then aren't you making an argument against yourself, Wolfie?
Yeah, literally.
I'm not.
Because if you're saying if you're saying that teams cannot just bully smaller teams now by just throwing money at them, that means you have an even lesser chance of getting superstars.
No. When have I said, at what point have I said Forest are going to go to a small team like, I don't know, Spurs or something and bully their players out of them? When have I said that?
So Wolfie,
I like the dig. I like the dig.
I like the dig. Yes, I liked it. I like the dig, but Jules didn't take the bait. I like it. Jules didn't take the bait.
I'll just say this quickly. In
when a little kid punches you, you don't really hear it. You don't feel it much, bro. Like, go on. I'll just bangs if you want.
I'll just say this in defense of Wolfie's thing, though, like, because you're mentioning Gay. I know you just gave Gay as an example, but let's pick Gyokeres because that's how it all started. I don't think for you guys to cement your position in top 4 next season, because I'm assuming that's your aim as a fan. And if your owner is serious, and I'm just going to take what your owner said as face value. Let's assume he's not lying. Let's assume he really wants to compete and progress and win trophies. You don't have to go after superstars. You can do what like Brighton have done and what Dortmund have done years ago. Just don't sell your big players. That's all. As long as you keep your main guys and strengthen, find good talent, that's it. But you have to be realistic, Wolfie. You're not going to shop where the big clubs shop. That's just the reality of things.
Okay, but
at least
you got to be realistic and say that when reports have come out, and let me just reel you off some names. And again, I will say, I don't believe half these reports, right? Gyokeres, Osman, David Luiz, who else has been linked to Forest already? Jonathan David.
David Luiz.
Wait, are we talking about the same David Luiz?
Douglas Luiz or David Luiz?
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. Oh, okay.
He misspoke يعني عادي يعني.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just about to give him a reality. Signing David Luiz at 40 years old.
Because David Luiz made sense. David Luiz.
Guys, take it easy. Take it easy. Wolf is an old man. He's just seen his team make the Champions League.
And I'm Siam.
He's fast. Take it easy.
David Luiz is a Forest signing.
On him.
Anyway, my point is, if these names were linked,
to his club, he's mixing them up.
But Wolfie, you just said you don't believe these reports, so why are we discussing that?
You haven't even let me finish my point. You haven't even let me finish my point. My point is, these names being linked to Forest today, ain't no one laughing at it. You can say, okay, maybe if so-and-so's not in for this and this and they have for money.
I'm laughing.
Yet a year ago, they wouldn't even bother putting these.
Let me say something. What you're doing,
you're going to sign these players, yeah? Don't worry about us. We're just laughing at your club.
Do you know what it is?
Don't worry about Ashraf and Ches. You're gonna sign big players. You're gonna make top 4, and you're gonna prove us wrong. Yeah.
No,